Hello children, today we are going to read about subject and predicate. In the previous video we studied about what sentences are, and along with that I also taught you that what are the various kinds of sentences. So today we are going to deal with the parts of a sentence, namely subject and predicate. So in a sentence you will find a part which talks about something, it talks about someone, and that part which talks about someone or something is called the subject, and that part which says something about that someone or something is called the predicate. So you can see on the board over here I have written what the subject is and what the predicate is. So you can see the subject is that part of a sentence that names a person, animal, place, thing or an idea we talk about. So the subject is the person or thing or an idea about which we are talking in that sentence. So that subject can be a noun, that subject can also be a pronoun. So over here let me give some example, like let me write Roshni, name of a girl, and Reshma are classmates. So over here in this sentence you can see that I am talking about two students. They are Roshni and Reshma. So this Roshni and Reshma, they together form the subject of this sentence. So if I ask you what is the subject in this sentence, then you will say Roshni and Reshma, because in this sentence we are talking about them. About whom are we talking? We are talking about Roshni and Reshma. So if I ask the question like who are classmates, then automatically the answer that you will give me after looking at this board is that Roshni and Reshma are classmates. So who are classmates? Roshni and Reshma are classmates. So in this sentence you get to see that we are talking about Roshni and Reshma, and we are saying that they are classmates. So this portion that I have underlined is the subject of the sentence where we are talking about whom we are talking in this sentence. So we are talking about Roshni and Reshma, and we are saying that they are classmates, means that they read in the same class. So this section which is called are classmates is the predicate in this sentence. Over here you can see the verb. So always remember that the predicate in a sentence, it includes a verb. So here you can see the verb, that is are. So you can see over here I have written the meaning of the word predicate. The predicate is that part of the sentence that says something about the subject. So this part of the sentence is saying something about the subject. You can see in the subject I have written two names of girls, that is I have made use of noun along with conjunction. So this is the part of the subject. This section that I have underlined from here to here, this is the subject, and the one that follows from are to classmates, this is the part of the predicate. I hope you are understanding. So let me explain this thing once again so that it's easier for you to understand. So let me take the examples so that it's easier for you to understand the meaning that I have provided over here. This meaning I have taken it from the book itself. So the subject is that part of sentence that names a person. So let me take the name of a person. Like I have taken the name of two persons before this, but let me take the name of a single person. So let me write over here Sohail. Sohail is a student. Sohail is a student. So this sentence you can see I am talking of the person named Sohail. What's the name of the person? The name of a person is Sohail. So this is the subject, and the remaining portion that he is a student is the predicate. It's telling us that this person named Sohail is what? He is a student. So I hope you are understanding. Instead of the word Sohail, like instead of the noun Sohail, I could have used the pronoun he. He is a student. So in this case, in the case of this second sentence that I have written, he is a student. The word he, that's the pronoun he, is the subject about whom we are talking, and is a student is the predicate. So predicate is telling us about the subject. Over here also you can see the predicate is telling us about the subject, that is Sohail, and over here we can see the predicate is telling about the subject, that is over here he. Another example so that you understand about the use of the word animal also in the sentence. So dog, let me write dog is useful is useful animal. So over here you can see dog is a useful animal. So what is the subject in this sentence? What is useful animal? So here dog. So dog is the subject of the sentence about which we are talking over here. And what are we saying about dog? We are saying that it is a useful animal. So this part is called the predicate. So you can see that dog is a useful animal. Over here the word dog, which is the name of an animal. So dog over here is the subject and the remaining portion I have written below. You can see the bird. So this is the predicate. From here to here, from east to animal, this is the predicate which is telling us something about the subject, that is the dog. Let's take another example to understand this. So you can see place. Let me take the example of Delhi. Delhi is a wonderful place. Delhi is a wonderful place. So you can see which place am I talking about in this sentence, and automatically you will be able to say that we are talking about Delhi. So Delhi is the place, and over here we are talking about Delhi. So Delhi is the subject of this sentence, and the remaining words that is telling us something about this Delhi. That's so you can see the word bird over here. East is a verb over here. So from here, that is from east till the word place, this is the predicate which is telling us something about Delhi. So I hope you understand. So you need to keep in mind similarly that for other things also, like things and ideas, so same thing applies. So let me give you one example for a thing also. This marker is new. So you can see over here, this marker, this is the subject of the sentence. I am talking about the marker in this sentence. So I am saying this marker is the subject, and the remaining word over here is new is the predicate. I hope you are understanding. I am talking about this marker. So I am talking about this marker. So this marker is new. So this new is telling me that this is new. This is bought recently. So next, let's give you another example. You all know honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. I hope you all have got it. So over here you can see that honesty is the subject, and over here I am talking about honesty being the best policy. So this portion of the sentence is the predicate, and it is telling us something about the subject. So what I am trying to tell you is that the subject, you might find a noun over there in place of a subject, you might find a pronoun over there. So similarly you need to remember that subject may be singular, subject may be plural, subject might be formed out of one word, subject might be formed out of many words. So these are things that you need to keep in mind. Like when I write Rahul saw a pencil lying on the floor. So over here you can see subject comprises only of one word, that is Rahul. But when I write the sweet girl is my sister. So automatically you can see over here that the sentence, that the subject comprises of three words. So you need to keep in mind that subject simply does not comprise only of one word. Sometimes it might comprise of more than one word. So this is something that you should remember. Similarly, now let's move forward and learn more about some sentences that do not have a subject in them, but you need to understand that they are telling you that there is some other word that's implying that there is a presence of you, the word you. Like when I say stop. So this word stop, you can see it's a verb. So in front of this word, I have not made use of any noun, any pronoun. So automatically you need to understand I am telling you to stop. So this you needs to be understood over there. This you will not be written. Like when a student asks permission to enter the class, they say may I come in? Then what do I say? I say come in. So over there I don't say you come in. I simply I don't utter from my mouth is what? Understood. That student, whoever is standing over there, that student will understand that I is telling me to come in. Otherwise, if there are many students, they will understand that ma'am is telling us to come in. So I hope you understand what I am trying to say, explain over here. So once again, let me tell you what I am trying to say is that in a sentence you will find a subject. Along with that, you will also find a predicate. Now, what is sentence? Subject. Then subject is that part of the sentence that tells us about whom we are talking about or about what we are talking about. It might be someone, it might be something, it might be the name of some place. I cannot say right now. It depends on the sentence. So similarly, you can see over here what I have written is the subject is that part of a sentence that names a person. So it might be the name of a person, any person. It might be the names of persons, that is name in the plural, that is having more than one name. So there might be more names, that is there might be 2 names, 3 names, many names may be there in the subject. Similarly, animals. It might be the name of an animal, it might be the name of, let's say, I have written dog. I could have written dog and cat. I could also have written cat, mouse, etc. So similarly, place. So it can be any place, then thing. It can be anything. I had mentioned barn, or it could be the whiteboard that I am using, or it might be the smartphone that with which I am capturing this video. So in the similar manner, I have told you that it can be any idea. Like I had written the example of honesty. Similarly, it could be any other idea like cleanliness, we can say. So over here, I have told you that predicate is that part of the sentence that says something about the subject. Now over here also you need to remember that predicate might be formed out of single word. Like if I write the rain stopped. The rain stopped. So over here you understand what am I talking about? I am talking about the rain. So the subject and the predicate is formed out of a single word, that is stopped. Similarly, if I write the baby laughed. So you can see the baby is the subject of the sentence and the word laughed, which is the verb, is the predicate. So you need to remember that subject and predicate, they might be formed out of one single word, they might be formed out of more than one word. So if you look at your book, you can see that a sentence has a subject and predicate. So I have explained this to you. Sentence has a subject and predicate. In the definition of the sentence that we had learned earlier, a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete sense. There itself you will get to see that a sentence is the subject. The words that follow after that is till the word complete sense, that is the part of a predicate. Now next is the meaning of the word subject and predicate has been provided in your book, and some examples are there, like Mohan is a good boy. So over here, who is a good boy? Who is a good boy? Mohan. So the answer Mohan is coming, so automatically this Mohan is the subject of the sentence. In the second sentence that's provided in your book, the example, you can see the boy is flying a kite. So if I ask you, who is flying a kite? The answer is a boy. So over here, sorry, the boy. So the boy is the subject of this sentence. See, in question number 3, you can see Rajat and Raman are playing chess. So over here, Rajat and Raman together they form the subject of the sentence, and are playing chess is telling us something about Rajat and Raman, what activity they are doing. So these are playing chess, that these words together they form the predicate of the sentence. In the fourth sentence, you get to see go there. It's an imperative sentence which is instructing you to do something. It's asking you to go somewhere. So over here, you go there has not been written. But you need to understand that when we are saying asking someone to go there means that that person is to go there. So you need to understand the word you over there, though it's not mentioned. You can see in your book. In imperative sentences, the subject is not mentioned, but it is understood. So you need to understand that that word is for you. So when I look at you and say go there, or otherwise if I look at you and say stand up, then you need to understand that I am looking at you and I am looking at you means that I am telling you to stand up, I am telling you to go somewhere, or I am telling you to come in. So I hope you have understood. Here there is an exercise. Let's practice provided in page number 7. Kindly try to do it.